Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you may know, buying a luxury handbag can sometimes be a gamble. You can have the best intentions in the world and do all the research that you can, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Now, I do think that there are some things that you can do and things that you can take into consideration to help prevent buyer's remorse, and if you're interested in that, I previously filmed a video on that and I'll link it below. But even so, there are just some times where it just doesn't work out, unfortunately. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the misses. Of course, there's always lots of hits when it comes to buying luxury handbags as well, and those are great, but I do really think it's important to pay attention to the misses. I really do try to pinpoint what exactly it was about that handbag that didn't work out for me, just so I can use that information moving forward and hopefully not make the same mistake twice. So I'm going to be going over each of the luxury handbags that I have sold in the past. I'm going to be talking about why I sold the bag, and then I'm going to be touching on what I learned from the experience. I'll be inserting pictures as we go, and whenever possible, I'll also be introducing some of my handbags just so you can get some eye candy. Perhaps I bought one of these bags to replace one of them that I sold, so I'll be showing those to you as well. So if you're interested in learning from my mistakes and learning a little bit about which bags I sold and why, keep watching. But if you're new to my channel, my name is Anne. I make weekly fashion and lifestyle videos, and I'd love for you to consider subscribing down below. Okay guys, let's get into the video. Okay, so this may or may not surprise you, but most of my misses have been with Chanel. I know, it's crazy because I love Chanel. Chanel is one of my favorite fashion houses. I absolutely love Chanel. I mean, my holy grail bag is from Chanel. It's right here actually. So this is my Chanel classic flap in the medium large with the caviar leather and the gold hardware. This is absolutely my favorite bag. I absolutely love it. It's my holy grail bag. I had been thinking about this bag forever before I purchased it, and I'm so glad I have it in my collection. But that being said, Chanel apparently does not always work out. So let's get into the bags that didn't. Okay guys, first up is the boy bag. The boy bag, oh my God. So I've been collecting handbags for quite some time now, and after I got my classic flap, I knew that I wanted to add some more Chanel to my collection. So of course, I'm a classic kind of girl, so I go for a lot of classic bags. So for me, the next classic bag by Chanel is the boy bag. You know, it's been around for a long time, everybody loves it, it's just so beautiful. So that was the bag that I had my eye on next. So I started to watch as many reviews as I could on the boy bag. I narrowed it down to the old medium size. I thought that was a really good size. I thought, you know, it's a little bit smaller than the new medium and it's bigger than the small. This will be a good bag. And I loved how other people were styling it, crossbody on themselves. It looks so good. So I go into the boutique, I find one, I absolutely fall in love with it. It's black with caviar leather and it's got gold shiny hardware and it is beautiful. So I buy the bag the day I see it. And this is something that I have learned moving forward, something I don't usually do. I usually go in and take a look at it and really think about it for a while. But this was earlier in the days, and so I bought it right away. And this is years ago. And I bring it home, you know, I wrap it, it's so beautiful. And I quickly realized that this bag just didn't work for me. You know, it sat really high on me. Now the strap drop on the boy bag is a lot shorter than a lot of crossbody bags. And so even for me who's 5 feet tall, it sat pretty high on me. And I guess I just prefer my crossbody bags to sit a little bit lower. And also, since the boy bag is pretty structured and large, even in the old medium size, it sticks out quite a bit from your body. So now it's sitting high on me and out. And I really tried to make it work. I also tried to wear it doubled up on one shoulder, but the chain kept twisting and falling off my shoulder. I tried to wear it one strap just over one shoulder, and that didn't work either. It just looked too long on me and I just wasn't getting on with it. So I said, you know, maybe it's the size. Maybe I went with the wrong size. You know, I should have tried on the small size when I was in the store. Why didn't I do that? So I ended up selling my boy bag in the old medium to Fashionphile. So I did lose a little bit of money, but the boy bag really does hold its value pretty well. Maybe not as much as the classic flap, but I didn't lose too much money. So I ended up selling it to Fashionphile. And then I ended up seeing another boy bag on Fashionphile. And it was in the size small and it was in the So Black collection. And guys, was that bag gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So it was this black color, you know, with black shiny hardware. I mean, the hardware on the So Black collection is so beautiful. It's just so shiny, so oily looking. It's just gorgeous. And I figured, you know, this is a smaller size bag. So if it sits a little farther out because it's so boxy, that's okay, because it's smaller, it'll be a little bit more manageable. That's what I assumed. So it arrives, I take it out, I'm like in love with the way it looks. And then of course I try it on and I'm like, oh God, it still sits pretty high, which I should have known. It doesn't change the strap drop. And I thought that since it was smaller, it wouldn't bother me as much that it stuck so far out. But it turns out, of course, it did bother me. And I didn't like wearing it over one shoulder either. For me, the chain on the boy bag is so thick that it just didn't look proportional, I think, to how small the size small boy bag is. So the bag was very small and the chain was super thick, and it just wasn't the vibe that I was going for with the bag, I guess. And so unfortunately, after another few weeks, I kind of realized that that bag was not gonna work out for me. And I had tried so hard, guys. I had tried, you know, styling it in so many different ways. I wore it a few times trying to make it work because, I mean, the boy bag is a beautiful bag, right? So I ended up selling that bag back to Fashionphile. They do have a program where if you sell it back within a certain amount of time, you can get a large percentage of your money back. So that's what I ended up doing. So of course this was a big mistake. It did cost me a bit of money, but I feel like I did learn from it. So this is kind of where I got some of my tips from my previous video to you guys, to try on the bag in multiple sizes when you go to the store. So you're not thinking about the other size later. But unfortunately the boy bag did not work out for me, so that was my first big miss. The next Chanel bag that did not work out for me was the Coco handle. Guys, I think the Coco handle bag is so beautiful. I think it's just gorgeous. And I fell in love. I think I saw this combination on Instagram and I fell in love with it quickly. It was a bread caviar with gold antique hardware, and it was so beautiful, guys. And it was in the mini size. I really preferred the mini size. When the Coco handle gets a lot bigger, I feel like it overwhelms me, especially since I'm so short. I feel like the handle and the bag in general is just very large. So I really like the mini size. So the problem with the mini size is you can't wear it crossbody. So I knew that going into it because I had done research, and I really thought that that wasn't going to bother me that much. I was like, I'll just wear it over one shoulder. It won't be a problem. So I purchased the Coco handle from Fashionphile. It arrives. It's gorgeous. The color combination is just beautiful. It's everything that I was hoping for. And then I put it on and I'm like, oh, I really wish I could wear this bag crossbody. That was definitely the first thing that I thought. I did put it on crossbody and it sat super duper high and it looked kind of ridiculous on me. I think some people can pull off the high crossbody look and I think it looks great on them. I just cannot pull it off. So unfortunately, I quickly realized with that bag as well that it was not gonna work out for me. A larger size that I could have worn crossbody just would have been too big on my frame, and I wasn't going to like that either. So I decided reluctantly to let the Coco handle go, and I'm really glad that I didn't try it in another size. I think some bags are just not meant for you, and unfortunately, sometimes you don't know that until you get it home and try to style it. But that one definitely didn't work out for me. So although I think that the Coco handle is beautiful, it's just not a good bag for me. Okay, the next Chanel bag that did not work out for me was the Chanel filigree vanity case. So that's the little box bag, and that bag is so adorable, guys. And the one that I got was in the beige and the black combo. So beautiful, so very classic Chanel with that color combination. I ended up getting the smallest size, so it's very mini. And what I liked about that bag is that you could wear it crossbody, because I knew that that was something that I wanted in the bag. I didn't want to have to just wear it over one shoulder. I wanted to wear it crossbody. And this bag was so small, guys. This bag was so dinky. I could fit my phone in it because I have a regular iPhone, but I'm not sure if you could fit your phone in if you had an iPhone Plus. That's how small the bag is. And I realized quickly that when I purchased it, that the zipper was a little cumbersome and opening it was a little bit hard just because it was so stiff. So getting your items in and out while you're standing somewhere was a little bit hard for me. So I kind of realized that I do like small size bags, but in this shape and the structure of it, it just didn't work out for me. And I thought about getting the larger size because I knew that that could hold more, but the larger size, unfortunately, again, does not go crossbody. It is shorter, it only goes over one shoulder. Again, you could probably wear a crossbody if you wore it really high, but as we said before, that's just not for me. It was a really sad experience because I actually bought this bag in the flagship store in Paris. It was a great experience. I got the beautiful white Chanel box and everything, and it was a beautiful, beautiful experience, but the bag just did not work out for me. It was very sad. I still love the look of the Vanity case and the filigree in general. Maybe in the future I'll add a filigree flat bag to my collection because I know I get on very well with flat bags. So only time will tell, but again, another one that I think is beautiful, but just didn't work out. So the last Chanel bag that didn't work out for me was actually a wallet on chain. So I currently have 2 Chanel walks in my collection and I absolutely love them. But this was the first wallet on chain I purchased by Chanel, and I got mine in the So Black reissue model. So this was a seasonal model and it was beautiful. It had wide chevron quilting. It was in the So Black, so the hardware was gorgeous. And I loved on the reissue how it has the little turnstile lock instead of just the snap button closure that's on the classic flap. But when I got this, I had honestly been thinking about the classic Chanel flap with just the classic caviar and the gold hardware. So I had originally gone to the Chanel boutique to look at the regular classic Chanel walk. And when I was there, my sales associate brought this bag out because it was new, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it was just gorgeous. I loved it. You know, I bought it on the spot. So this is where I learned another lesson that I mentioned in my previous video, which is make sure you're buying the bag that you really want. So although I thought that the reissue walk was so gorgeous, it wasn't the bag that I went there for. And I couldn't stop thinking about the classic wallet on chain. And I really didn't think I could justify having 2 black wallet on chains in my collection. So I ended up selling my wallet on chain, the reissue chevron So Black wallet on chain, to Fashion File. And then I ended up purchasing my classic wallet on chain with the black caviar leather and the gold hardware. And I do not regret this purchase at all, guys. I do not regret selling the walk. It was gorgeous. I really did think it was beautiful, but I'm very happy with this one. I just really love how classic this is. I think that I will have this in my collection forever, and it's definitely not something I regret doing. Okay guys, moving on to Louis Vuitton. So I have 2 Louis Vuitton bags that I have sold. So the first Louis Vuitton bag that I sold was my Neverfull in the MM size in the monogram. And at the time, I really didn't think that I needed 2 Neverfulls in my collection. So I ended up selling my monogram Neverfull so that I could get my Neverfull in Damier Ebene. So I knew I wanted to get the Damier Ebene Neverfull because I wanted something that was kind of all year round, that I didn't have to worry about weather or rain or snow or anything like that. So I ended up selling my monogram Neverfull in the MM size, and I got my Damier Ebene Neverfull in the MM size. And I love this bag. I use it for work every single day. It was a great purchase. I don't regret buying this bag at all. I will say I do regret selling the monogram Neverfull because now that I've been collecting for many years now, I now know that having multiple Neverfulls is never a bad thing. I probably will purchase another Neverfull coming up. I've actually been looking at the Damier Azur Neverfull just because I've never had a Damier Azur piece in my collection. So I've been eyeing that, but I definitely also have been still thinking about the Neverfull in monogram. So never say never, it might come back in my collection. The last bag I sold is again another Louis Vuitton, and that was my Pochette Metis in the classic monogram. And guys, I got this bag a few years ago. I was actually very lucky. It was a popular bag at the time, but it wasn't as hyped as it is now. But I still had to get on the wait list to get the bag. But I was very lucky, and my sales associate at the time was able to get it for me within 3 days. So of course, I bought it right away because I knew that I might not have another chance to do it. And I love the bag. The bag is so beautiful. But I learned quickly that I am a little scared of large pieces of vachetta. I think that the vachetta is beautiful, but I really like it when it's in that, you know, beautiful honey stage, and the before when it's stark white, and then later on when it gets pretty dark. It's just not my favorite thing. I know some people love it in those shades, and I think it's beautiful, and I think it looks great on other people, but it's not necessarily my preference. So I ended up selling that Pochette Metis in order to get my Pochette Metis in reverse monogram. Guys, I love this bag. I use this bag so much. This is one of my most used bags. And I said in a previous video, I especially love wearing this bag in fall and winter because I feel like the color combination looks amazing with everything. But I love this bag in the reverse monogram. I think that it is just great. I love how I don't baby this bag at all. The fact that it has no vachetta on it, the fact that I don't worry about touching the handle. If I have lotion on my hands, I can wear this bag out all day. I don't have to look to see ahead of time what the weather's gonna be, if it's gonna rain or anything like that. So I do not regret buying this bag at all. I really, really don't. I think that this was a great, great, great purchase. Do I regret selling the monogram Pochette metis? I am not gonna lie, guys. I know it would be maybe a little crazy to have both this and the regular monogram Pochette metis in my collection, but I still love the look of the classic Pochette metis. I don't think that I'm gonna be adding it back to my collection anytime soon, but I do still think about it, so never say never. I think that maybe if I ended up doing something to protect the vachetta on the leather strap, that maybe I could get on with it. I'm not so much of a bandeau kind of girl, so I don't really see myself tying a bandeau on here, and I'm actually like really, really bad at doing crafty things like that, so I would probably have to get someone to do it for me. But yeah, so maybe if I was able to spray it with something that, you know, protected the vachetta, and I know that that's a little controversial. Some people are really into that, and some people really don't like to touch the vachetta. But I think that I would have to figure out something like that, some sort of plan in order for me to be able to wear it and not worry about it. So never say never. Maybe one day we'll have another Pochette metis in my collection. But as of right now, I love this bag, and I'm so, so glad I got it. Okay, guys, so let's talk about a few things that I learned from all the bags that I've sold. One, adjustable straps. I really, really love bags with adjustable straps. Strap length turns out to be very, very important to me, especially if it's a bag that I want to be able to wear it crossbody. I now know that I need a bag to either have an adjustable strap or for the strap drop to be a little bit longer for crossbody so it can sit lower on my body. If it sits higher and it's not adjustable, it's probably just not going to work out for me. So that is a lesson I learned from buying and selling these bags. Another thing that I learned from my missus is that I have a love-hate relationship with vachetta. Although I think vachetta is beautiful, especially when it's in that beautiful sweet spot in that honey color, I think that's gorgeous. But to be honest, I'm a little bit afraid of vachetta, it turns out. And this is probably why all of my monogram bags come with black trim. So I have the Neo Noe with the black trim, I have the reverse monogram Pochette metis with the black trim, and I also have the Palm Springs Mini with the black trim. I'm not saying I'll never have a piece with vachetta in the future. I think that I might be able to get past it a little bit better, especially if I can figure out a way to make it work for me in terms of protecting the vachetta in some way. Let me know down below if there's anything that you do to your vachetta to protect it. I've heard so many different things about different products, and of course, I know that there's a lot of people who really think that that's not a great idea, and then other people who think it's fine, so let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, and the last thing that I learned from this experience is that I really am a classic flap Chanel girl. I love Chanel, and I think that they have some beautiful bags, but so far the ones that have worked out for me have really been the classic flap. I have 2 classic flaps, I have some minis and some walks, and I love, love, love them, but they are all in the classic style. So I don't know if moving forward, if I'll add another Chanel bag in a different design. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but we will see. But as of right now, I'm a classic Chanel flap girl. Okay guys, that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love for you to consider subscribing down below. Come back and see me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.